Welcome back to Chips and Salsa, Intel's podcast on our security and assurance efforts here at Intel. My name's CRob,
I'm Jerry.
and today, Jerry, I think we have a real treat in our tour of the product security report.
Yep, we're going to have Katie Noble and Chris Holt join us today to talk about Intel's bug mounting program and Project Circuit Breaker and all of the activities from 2022. So let's cut over to them and see how things went.
Katie and Chris, welcome back to Chips and Salsa. Could you all describe Intel's bug bounty programs for us?
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. So Intel has had a history of bug bounty. So we started our bug bounty program in 2017. And at that time, it was a private invite-only bug bounty program. It was comprised of mostly academic security researchers. In 2018, we opened up the bug bounty program to what is referred to in the community as an open continuous model, which means that any Intel product that is under active support is covered under our bug bounty program. And so anybody in the world, as long as they're not sanctioned or somehow involved in something illicit, if they find a bug in any Intel product, can report it to the bug bounty program. And as long as it falls within scope and it is a valid vulnerability, we will pay out between $500 and $100,000. On average, we pay out about $800 to $1 million a year in bug bounty payments. So we've been really fortunate in this last year to be able to really kind of streamline our bug bounty program, and we added a new kind of event-focused program on top of that, which I think we'll talk about a little bit later. But that is Intel's bug bounty program.
Well, don't tell Jerry, but I might need to find a new career. I
Honey
own a
bug?
bug bounty hat.
It's
Isn't
really
it-
interesting. I find that there are a couple of security researchers. We work with about anywhere between 50 and 100 security researchers, per year. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. And there are several that I feel like on average I buy them a boat every quarter or a new deck. I mean, like they're getting some really good value out of the bug bounty program, and I appreciate their security research.
Well, you mentioned how many security researchers that we work with. So in this year's product security report, we see that the number of researchers we engaged in 2022 more than doubled from the previous years before that. What do you attribute that to?
We put a lot of effort in 2022 into outreach and engagement, community building, and support of the folks that we work with. The PCER team, the bug bounty team, grew significantly last year as well, and that just allowed us to reach that many more people, engage in that many more conversations, and build additional relationships. It's an incredibly community-oriented sub business, if you will, and the relationships, the connections, the people are such a core important piece of it that we really saw the returns on all the time and investment that we put into that community building. It paid out. It paid back to us in situations that we were talking down in some cases, in responses that needed to happen, in support of not just PCERT, but the rest of Intel product security.
Mm-hmm. So I remember talking with Katie last year. Could you maybe tell the audience what Project Circuit Breaker is and how all that came about?
I would be delighted to. So Project Circuit Breaker is, of course, I'm a little biased, but it is one of my favorite projects. So what Project Circuit Breaker does is it aims to meet the security researchers where they are. So it takes the bug bounty program, the open continuous model, like I discussed before, and it takes it to the next level. So it's more of an event-focused program, and it's looking to put a little distance between Intel and the bug bounty program. Be a little bit more relevant, be a little bit more interactive, be a little bit more fun, if you will. We have some amazing artwork that goes with that, which I absolutely love, building out the stories for Project Circuit Breaker. But what Project Circuit Breaker really does is it focuses Intel's investment on security onto specific programs. And those are often products that are new to the market. Maybe they're kind of a new used thing, so maybe they're not new to the market, but there's going to be a new product coming out to the market, and we want to kind of beta test it. And so we'll do an event based on, and those are typically live hacking events or training events, based on a product that we know we want to throw at the researcher community next year. So it's building up some of that subject matter expertise. And what we're really trying to do is build a community around Intel products. So Intel products are a little bit outside the scope of the average security researcher. Most security researchers live in a space of AppSec and web infrastructure. And so firmware, hardware, and in some cases software is a little bit of a different beast. And a lot of security researchers don't realize they have the capability to hack on these products. And so if we can help fill the gap, whether that's through training or specific opportunities, and really help that security researcher build up their skill set, that will help us in the long run with our Intel products, that's what Project Circuit Breaker aims to do.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, that's great. So how many events were ongoing in 2022?
So that's interesting because we had a couple different kinds of events in 2022. So we started out with Camping with Tigers, which was our initial pilot program. That started in 2021 and ran until May 2022. Excuse me, that was focused on the Tiger Lake platform, the vPro platform. Then we also did what we called the SGX Garden Party. And so the SGX Garden Party was on the SGX platform, but it wasn't a live hacking event. It was much more of a training event. So we took two weekends, brought in 12 security researchers, gave them intensive training on the SGX platform and how to use it. And then we were so lucky, KU Leuven came in and did a training for the security researchers and explained how they had hacked SGX, which was a fantastic opportunity for a lot of the security researchers. And we gave them a partial proof of concept. And we said, hey, this is a vulnerability that we know about. Complete it for us. We gave them a week in our DevCloud environment and asked them to complete the vulnerability. And they were all able to do that. This was a precursor to our next event that we wanted to host, and that was called the Trusted Crossings. And it was focused on the TDX platform, so trusted domain extensions. And so we did the same thing. We brought in, and this product was not on the market, so it's very exciting to get hackers into our space on a product that's not yet on the market. So we did the TDX event, and at the same time we did a live hacking event on the Alder Lake platform. So it's a little confusing here why I'm hesitating to give you a hard number, because two of our events actually went into extended overtime. So maybe we did 4 events, but maybe we did 6 events. It kind of depends on how you want to slice it.
So maybe could you share, were there any other highlights we kind of learned or that came about as part of these 4 to 6 events?
I think so keep in mind, Project Circuit Breaker is young. And so a lot of this has been proving ground. And I think we learned a lot over the last year on how to run some of these events. So that was really fantastic for us to be able to have that kind of controlled space where we were able to integrate with the hackers. I think the thing that has really kind of driven home for me and really been fantastic is just the community that it's built. The fact that, so we have a Slack that we still talk to. If you once a circuit breaker, always a circuit breaker. So if you've ever been part of one of our programs, you're still in that Slack. You can still talk to us anytime. And so just the community that's been built from that, and the fact that previous to kind of our interaction with really trying to meet the security researchers where they are, we would, find out about things the same time everybody else did. Sure. And we've had a couple instances the last couple of months where we've had hackers bring things to us before it kind of made the news. And that was really, really exciting. It was really great. The other thing that I really loved seeing with the Project Circuit Breaker events is when the hackers started helping each other. So in the middle of a security event, we offer these training courses kind of every week. We would offer a training module on that particular product to kind of help, fill in some of the gaps. And at a certain point during Camping with Tigers, we had the security researcher say, hey, actually, I have a lot of expertise on this thing. Could I host a training? And that was really awesome because we saw the security researchers kind of self-organize and start helping each other. And I was very inspired by that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What about you, Chris? Were there any cool highlights that you can think of?
So Project Circuit Breaker was a really big effort in 2022, and it required partnerships with business units inside of Intel to get each of these campaigns, these events up and running from the beginning. But one of the things that I really thought was amazing was as they were going, the support that we got from those teams just grew. As they started to see and experience everything we were telling them, this will happen if we invest in, this will happen if we put the energy into, this will happen if if we do X, Y, and Z, we'll get that that return. You'll start to feel it when our partners started to actually see and experience those benefits. They started putting more energy into it, and it's one of those things where it's never too late, but it's also never too. It's much more important to be never too early. So one of the campaigns that we extended, the TDX Trusted Crossings campaign, the team was seeing so much value out of it that they came to us and said, "Can we do an extension on this?" And we had to shuffle around some work that was planned for the next couple of months and figure out, yeah, we can actually support an extension on this. Let's go do that, right? You're asking us to have more time with the researchers. The researchers are interested in more time, so yeah, let's make that happen. That really felt like a visible inflection point for the program.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I also see that you have some of the event posters on the wall behind you there, talking about Trusted Crossings. I see that one.
I do, yeah. This is one of my my bragging point, I'll say. I'm quite proud of all the events that I've participated in and been able to help execute. The last few here are from the 2022, the work that Project Circuit Breaker has done. So we've got this side, Camping with Tigers, the Garden Party, Alders and Seekers was Alder Lake, and then Trusted Crossings. There we go, behind me. They're a lot of fun, and we yeah, the left right thing, right. It's fun that we have for each of these we've had a virtual guest book where all of the participants, staff and hackers would come by and sign it, so the names, the signatures are printed on the posters as a fun memento that we get to send everybody.
Yeah, that's cool. So we talk a lot about our bug bounty program as being part of Intel's proactive investment in product security assurance. Why would you guys say that it's good for companies like Intel to invest in these kind of programs?
Yeah, I'll jump in there. So a bug bounty program is one part of your overall coordinated vulnerability disclosure program, right? So it's kind of I think they call it security in depth or the Swiss cheese model. I would say that a bug bounty program is not the the magic panacea to all of your security concerns, but it is one part of an overall well-oiled coordinated vulnerability disclosure security protocol. There are other things that you should absolutely be doing: a good SDL process, active pen testing, code reviews, internal security research. But a bug bounty program takes a see something, say something to the next level. Not only does it provide security researchers or just people who find things a venue to report it legitimately to a company, but it also goes a little bit further and it incentivizes that security research and incentivizes folks to think creatively outside the box. There are a time and a place for every security option that's available, but I think that sometimes with the bug bounty program, you sort of break the rules a little bit. And we always joke there are builders and there are breakers in this world. If you built that product, maybe you don't see things the way that a breaker would see the project. Mm-hmm. And so that's really what a bug bounty program aims to do, is it gives you gives you something that's out of the box thinking, helps you shift left, helps you save money in the long run, helps you identify some of those core vulnerabilities and core issues that you may not have seen, even if you applied all of the other techniques to that product.
Yeah,
It,
that's
it,
that's why I like the fact that we're doing some of these events on product that hasn't shipped yet.
Right.
As we talk about shifting left. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I just want to say it really acts as an opportunity for a force multiplier, to an infinite scale, right? Infinite resource expansion. There's literally only so much that a program, a team, a company can do on a product before it's released, right? At some point, it's got to get out the door. It's got to be in consumers' hands. It's got to be sellable. But Bug Bounty is the opportunity at the end, right? The coordinated vulnerability disclosure kind of program, in whatever form that is, and Bug Bounty is one of those forms.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the opportunity for an endless amount of resources to be poured into that product in security research after the team has already finished the commitment and say, we're in support mode now, but we're supporting our customers, and all of the research that comes in, however much that is work that is added value to the customer when that occurs. It's a pay for results model, not a pay for effort model, which allows it to exist relatively indefinitely, because it's pay after the fact, right? We pay for the results and not the energy that goes into it, which has pros and cons on both sides of those models for sure.
Mm-hmm. So Jerry and I have been doing a lot of work, and kind of the impetus to have you both back today is we're putting out the 2022 Product Security Report, and the results look good, like very good, in fact. How many of the vulnerabilities that we addressed throughout the whole PCERT program were reported through the Bug Bounty program?
So about half. So what we see is that of the 200 plus reports that we got, 106 of them were external reports. So that's a pretty good amount. So, and you might ask yourself, kind of, why? Why is it not? So there's a little bit of a disconnect between external reports coming in and the came through the Bug Bounty program. So not all reports that come in externally come through the Bug Bounty program. There are a lot of academic researchers who provide security research, but don't go through the Bug Bounty program. So that accounts for that kind of little bit of confusion sometimes when we say, 85% of all external reports came from the Bug Bounty program. A lot of it is through our commitment through the academic community as well.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's talk about bounty payments. How much did we pay out in 2022?
We did really well this year. So I will say that the community got really good value out of Intel's Bug Bounty program. So I believe the last time that I checked, and Chris, you'll have to check me on the numbers, but we paid out over $1 million worth of bounties in 2022.
Wow.
So that's pretty good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I saw, as we were building the product security report, that the number of researchers we engaged, like we talked earlier, more than doubled up to like 150. So do that math.
Yeah.
Somebody made some money.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other part of that number, though, that one of the hidden figures is the average bounty. So looking at the average amount earned on a report that earned money went up by, let's see, in 2021 it was about $2,100, and in 2022 it went up to just about $2,400. So that's what, 25%, 20%.
Yeah.
I'm not quick mathing very well, but that's a significant jump when
Not
we
a
talk.
math guy.
The average, right, for the year across all the reports went up a significant amount, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That means some people were finding juicier bugs, huh?
Yeah, and I think we see that from the number of researchers that we had, the engagement that we had with those folks all of that going up results. It can be seen in the total dollars going up and the average dollars going up.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So those are some pretty amazing numbers for 2022. So you all, thank you and congratulations for achieving so much. What's next for Intel's Bug Bounty and Project Circuit Breaker? How can you possibly top all that?
So we are really excited. Hopefully, this next coming year, we're going to be able to host. I won't give away the details, but keep going to the projectcircuitbreaker.com because we will be soliciting applications to participate in hopefully two event-based programs. We're going to up the ante a little bit this year and hopefully be able to do some things that we've never been able to do before on products we've never been able to have before. So that's very exciting. I can barely actually contain my excitement about it because we were just granted approval. So I don't want to give too much away, but keep going back to the Project Circuit Breaker site because we'll be looking for applications for hackers. With that, we always want to improve our processes. So we are going to focus this year on improving the open continuous bug bounty program as well. We're looking to figure out how do we change some of our overall process flows and some of our kind of terms and conditions to make it a little bit more streamlined for the hacker community. We want to make it as easy as possible for a hacker to get to submit to us and to get paid out as quickly as possible. And that means process improvements on the inside, improvements in toolings, and then or tooling rather, and then just kind of improvements on the way that we do business.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Chris, anything else?
On the non-bounty related side, right, we have continued community building and outreach. So there's a number of things that we're working on that should come to fruition later this year, Q2, 3, 4 probably, that are going to be activities, events, things that folks can participate in, hopefully learn from. I'm very much looking forward to learning from these things myself. I've already learned a lot in the development that's gone into it so far, and we're not even halfway done with the planning. So this is hopefully the first of many years to come of this kind of additional activities and educational content, right? We talked earlier, Katie talked earlier about the difference between web software, firmware, and hardware as like kind of a difficulty, a skill funnel. And we want to do what we can to help folks recognize that exists and help move them along in their personal journey, whether that's deepening in specificity or deepening in the funnel, going to the next layer down.
Yeah, we did something that I thought was pretty delightful, and you can check it out at the Project Circuit Breaker website. But I think we'll try to do this annually. And what did we call this? The human.
The Human Interest Project. At the end of the year, we reached out to everyone who had submitted a report to us in 2022 and asked them to submit a recipe that they enjoy making for themselves or family. We also, not just researchers, but we reached out internally to Intel employees, product security specifically, but other folks as well that support Project Circuit Breaker and product security. And just to recognize that we're all humans, we all eat food. This is something that we all do. If we could share a recipe with someone, maybe we can start to build a connection that is completely unrelated to the work that we do, but necessary for all of us to keep being, keep doing, keep living our best. So we gathered a number of recipes from folks, compiled them into a recipe book that is available on the website. We'll look to grow that next year, hopefully.
So we have a Project Circuit Breaker cookbook.
We do.
We do.
Well, I look forward to eating some of them.
Yes. Well, Katie and Chris, thank you so much for joining us to talk about Intel's bug bounty programs and Project Circuit Breaker. Looking forward to seeing what these events we're going to do in 2023. Good luck.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Thanks.
Wow. Look, you hear those numbers, Jerry? I mean, 150 researchers, all over $1 million in payouts. They are doing some amazing stuff over there in our bug bounty programs.
Yeah, I really like the concept of Project Circuit Breaker being kind of the event-driven part
Yeah,
of the program,
very
and
innovative.
the outreach that's being done there, the educational opportunities, both from Intel to the researchers, and
Mhm.
what Intel learns from the researchers. So it's a great collaboration.
Yeah, and
Um,
I think it's just another element of how we apply defense in depth, layered defenses. How our sole vulnerability program isn't just bug bounty; it's one of the many different elements where we invest in product security and assurance.
yeah, yeah, no, it's great to invest in community outreach and incentives to get talented researchers around the world to look at our products and find issues that we
Mhm.
can then address and mitigate. So that's pretty awesome. But yeah, so thank you, Katie and Chris, for joining
Thank you.
us. Then we'll see you next time.
Later.